right, we are going to deal today. And I apologize. I know a lot of people have been asking, like, hey, we feel like you haven't been doing stuff online. I think people got really sick of being online. That's just my perception. I have been kind of sick of being on Zooms and things, so I haven't been doing this as much. However, we are committed, especially going into 2026 for Ciprani Consulting, to teaching you all the new and fun things that we've been learning and building with people in our consulting programs. We have been doing a lot of consulting for small business in general. So we started in real estate. I know a lot of you know me from real estate, which has been amazing. And we started consulting for trash companies and I, all kinds of people. And so I won't go into all that. But one of the biggest challenges that we've seen across the board is figuring out who is your next hire. And there's a lot of noise around this, right? People will talk about, creating your opportunity map and all this stuff. But we have found when we are consulting people, we have to bring people down to really specific things in order to figure out what the next hire really is. And a lot of people are making hires right now, and they're really struggling. They're struggling with communication mostly because not I think, we are in a really weird place in our world where it's really hard for people to communicate. Text messaging is king. Don't even get me started there. People are communicating on social media where, you've got keyboard warriors doing and saying whatever they want. And so, picking up the phone and meeting in person has just become you know, it hasn't been around, but I do believe there's a huge comeback for that. And so today though, I do want to focus on, how do we make sure that when we put a job ad out there that we get the right candidate? And a lot of that is being specific around it, you guys. And so there's a number of things that we're going to talk about today. So let me actually share my screen. And that way, hopefully you guys can see the systems here. I'm going to go ahead and present this. We're going to take you through some things. And anybody who's on here or watching this later, I'm happy to give you anything that you see today. So let's do that, right? All right. So really quickly, there's some really fun resources that you can get. We've got a new assessment. We have an employee avatar. We've got all kinds of tracking things for your timesheets, all kinds of stuff. So if you scan here, we'll give you some free things. I'll come back to that in a minute, but that will email you a bunch of free stuff that we think is pretty awesome. So really quickly, we've got three pillars is what I'm going to say when you are figuring out who you're going to hire. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a person, right? Sometimes it's just a process that's needed, right? And once you put the process in place, a person that's already in your world can start to handle that. But for the most part, we got three different things that we got to deal with. We got to deal with people, right, who we're in business with, processes, so systems, the business of scale. That's how we scale our businesses, is by actually having systems and processes. If you don't have that, we would love to consult for you. Very affordable and monthly. We will help you build out your systems and processes so that you can scale your business well. And then, of course, leadership, the business of us, right? Us as leaders and business owners, we need to continue to pour in ourselves and learn more so that we can lead others, right? And you can't bring people in, you guys. You cannot bring a really good person into your world if you're not leading yourself well. So, again, for another day, but you can see there's a good amount of information around this. But we're going to dive into figuring out today who needs to come into our world. This is a thing that I make people do all the time. I believe it is really easy to figure out what a job description is going to look like for somebody if you first create what I call the I hate to do list. So anything you hate, right? And there's a million things that we hate, right? So if we just look at, for example, entrepreneurs in general, like I can tell you, and anybody in my life can tell you, like if I go right over there, I could literally pick up two giant bags of mail right now. I hate opening mail. I don't know what my deal is with that, but I hate it. And so because of that, I leave it for months sometimes. I mean, I pick through it and I'm like, oh, it looks important. I probably should open that. But apart from that, I leave a lot of stuff and then it gets overwhelming and annoying. It's a thing that a lot of us do, right? For some reason, bookkeeping is in that too. If you're running a business and somebody's not doing your bookkeeping and keeping track of that for you, please, please, can we help you get a bookkeeper or somebody and at least look at that monthly? Money in and out and knowing where you stand is so important. And I'm in that same boat, right? It is a thing I hate. It actually takes me so much longer. And then there's people in my life that like they can get that done within like a half an hour, what takes me maybe 4 hours sometimes because I'm like double checking everything and I'm like, is this? Does it match? Um, and the truth is, I hate it. So again, there's lots of us out there, but if you can make the list of the things you hate, it really starts to get you into this great place of, okay, I hate this and I need to leverage that, right? So starting with the I hate to do list allows you to make a list that then can be translated into the description of the job ad, right? So we'll get there, but I hate to do list. Let's take realtors because there's so many of you guys that like are in my life, and again, that's where we started in consulting, right? But if you're not an agent and you're watching, don't leave because we'll get there. But we want you to have an I hate to do list, right? So getting updates on, the new builds and sharing, remembering team members' birthdays. That's actually a thing that a lot of us don't do well, right? Planning lunches, presenting something, setting up the training room or the TV before we go and teach, right? These are all different things that could be there. We'll bring some more things in, right? You can see this list here, right? I hate calling any agents back about listings. Like if they're calling me about questions, like I don't really want to call them back. But I need to if I'm a real estate agent because anybody who's calling with questions might have interest in the property and I'm here to sell it, right? Here's some more things. I might not like picking up lock boxes and dropping them off. I might not I don't want to verify that the listing's right. Does it have 3 bedrooms? Does it have four? I sometimes I gloss over that stuff because I'm moving a million miles a minute, right? So again, anything that I don't really want to do, do I want to pick up the phone and answer questions? Do I want to submit feedback? Do I want to call my clients all the time? Do I want to, do the marketing of the home, right? There's a million things that we do. And some of them we like, but a lot of them we don't. So start with the I hate to do list, make the whole list of things, and then that way you can start to have that description. So this is just a great quote. If you've never seen it, now you have. If your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you have a job, right? And so again, the whole goal is to go, okay, what are the tasks and the things I hate? Why am I doing those? Like I'm giving myself a job. Whereas I could give somebody else a job that loves those things and is energized and excited about those things, right? And so if that's the case, now we got to build a system around that. All right. I'm going to skip through some of this really quickly because I want to take you through this. Once you have the I hate to do list, I then want you to translate everything over to what is called an activity inventory. So we created one here for Ciprani Consulting. It's very similar to the I hate to do list. That's something that I always use. But then I went through Strategic Coach, which is a coaching platform. If you want more information about that, let me know. I uh, I loved it. In fact, let me show you. Like Strategic Coach, and there's a million books that you get as a part of the program, but like The Gap and the Gains from that, Who Not How, multiple books are from that, and they go through different programs to help you navigate scaling your business. But I want you to take 10 minutes, right? And I will give you an inventory that you can write on. So again, like if you're watching this, I don't think I have any questions yet. I know it's in the middle of the day too. But if you want this inventory, what I need you to do is either go back to that first part where we scanned or just message me. I'm happy to send it to you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take all those things that you hate first, right? So if I hate opening mail and I hate doing bookkeeping and I hate getting everything set up for any meetings that I'm involved in, and I don't want to plan I don't want to do the like planning for my events. So in other words, I want somebody to figure out where I'm staying, and I want somebody to figure out my flight, and I want somebody to figure out where I'm going to dinner, create my schedule, get my car. I love to have all those things handled for me, right? And so I would make that list, and then I'm going to translate that list to an activity inventory, which I'll show you in a second. And then after I translate that list to an activity and inventory, then I'm going to start thinking about the things that I do like. So what things bring me joy? I love teaching. I love consulting on systems and processes. I like building a process. I like sitting down and going, okay, step one is this, and step 10 is this. And how do I get from one to 10? I have all these other tasks. I enjoy that. That is something that gives me joy. I know that that is not something that a lot of people, especially business owners, want to do, right? Most of them love selling. They like going on appointments and all that fun stuff. So, you would write all those things out. Then there are three things that we're going to do. You can see them right here. So the first one is we're going to mark things as a C if we are capable of doing them. So things that you can do competently, but they don't excite you. So again, you have the I hate. These are the things I hate. They go first, right? Strategic coach doesn't teach that piece. And then there are things that I can do, right? For entrepreneurs and business owners, PS, you can do a lot of the things. You do all the things, right? Doesn't mean that you are totally capable. It doesn't mean you love them or whatever, right? So again, if there are things that don't excite us, we're going to put a C there. If there are things that we feel like we're excellent at, so like somebody might come to me, and regularly I'll hear this. I don't think that I can offload this task to somebody. Like, I am so good at negotiating contracts as a real estate agent. I get the highest and best price for my sellers all the time. It's why they hire me. Awesome. You're probably excellent at it. Or it might be a unique ability of yours, but my gut says you're just excellent at it. You've just learned how to be excellent. And do we not think that somebody else might enjoy it and become excellent at it? Um, the chances are, yes, they probably could. Now, does that mean that you offload it? I don't know. But for right now, we're just marking these things, right? So we're going to say, I'm excellent at this. Or I'm very good at marketing. I am excellent at this. Or for me, I love teaching. I love, doing processes and systems and building those. I'm excellent at that, right? And I feel excellent at that. So I would put an E beside some of those things. Unique ability. Here's the trick. Figuring out if you're just excellent at something or it's your unique ability proves to be challenging. Unique ability is the activities that you both love doing and are best at. These give you energy, they produce extraordinary results, and represent your unique contribution. There are people that I have met that would say, Lindsay, you're an amazing connector. We think that's what you're best at. You connect all these people, right? And I know about employers, and then I hear about a possible employee, and I will make that connection, right? I am definitely good at that. Now, am I just excellent at it, or is it a unique ability? How would I know? How would I figure out? Now, I produce extraordinary results when I pair really talented people together. I have watched businesses where I've done that triple and quadruple. And it's why we created Ciprani Consulting, right? Ciprani Consulting started with systems and processes where I was like, I can put these systems and processes in place for these people, these entrepreneurs, and I can watch their businesses double and triple sometimes. How awesome. That's a unique ability. I was able to simplify different systems and processes and put it into a place where almost anybody could go and build those if they just built them. And then I came alongside of those people, right, in my consulting, and I held them accountable to building them. Now, 100% a unique ability, and I created a company around it, but I became very clear that while I created all those things and all of the systems, I have multiple people that have done that too and can teach my systems and processes. hence Ciprani Consulting, right? And so it's the same thing with connecting people, right? Can I find other people that really enjoy helping entrepreneurs hire? Yes, I've got multiple people that are doing that now, right? And I created the system and the process around these are the things that we have to do. These are the things we have to see in somebody in order to know that we're making a good hire or in order to know that we have a good system and a process, right? And what we did was we scaled that, brought good people in to be able to do those things, right? And so again, is that my unique ability? Is it excellent? I would say those are probably my unique abilities. I'm giving you my examples, but that doesn't mean that they're yours, right? You might be a marketing genius. You might be sitting here going, I know exactly what to say. I don't ever have to use AI and ChatGPT to figure out what to say. I know exactly what to say to get a response. That might be a unique ability, or it might be something you learned and you became excellent at. Only you know. But again, you have to figure out what's really going to give you. So like excellent, the biggest thing here is that you're really good at it and people notice that you're really good at it, but it may not give you energy. It might give you energy, but it may not, right? There are things that people would say, "Hey, you're really good at this," but it zaps my energy, right? While I can connect people and love to make those connections, I'm very good when I go out and teach, and I'm very good when I go into a room and I'm connecting with people and I'm saying hi, I'm meeting with everybody. But guess what? The third thing I just talked about, while I'm good at it, I'm excellent at it, actually. I can meet almost everybody in a room and learn who they are and remember them and then connect with them on social media, and I'm good that way. That zaps my energy. The first two, teaching and right, whatever else I said. Oh, connecting people, candidates and employers together, that produces massive amounts of energy for me. So that's a unique ability. Hopefully that makes sense and hopefully you're seeing the difference because now that I've spent that much time on it, right? Now we want to go in and actually create it. So I'm going to jump out of that. And again, this is the document that I'm happy to send to anybody. It's just an easy thing. Like anybody can do this. But we just created this because we wanted to make it really easy for you to be able to come in here and kind of figure it out. So again, you would start with the I hate to do it list. So Lindsay, hates calling people back. What? About property. So if I just leave it as, doing as a real estate agent, there are a lot of things that I didn't love about being a real estate agent, right? I didn't like doing any of the listing paperwork or writing the description, right, for the property or whatever, right? Now I'm not spelling right either. But then, so first of all, you want to brainstorm. I hate, then I like, but, or I'm okay with doing it and I'm good at it. Then we're going to put those things. And then we're going to go into the excellent things. Again, this is right here, right? What are the things I'm excellent at, right? I'm going to write all those things. And then are those things that are my unique ability. But again, if you think through this, like, I just want you to make a giant list of all the crap that you're doing because a lot of you guys are doing so many things. Hence, we're going to make a hire. Okay. So once you go through and then you label all these things, right? Then anything that, all right, teaching, right? So let's just get one of mine that I really think is a unique ability. Once I have my U's in there, those are things I'm probably keeping, guys, right? Those are things I'm probably not going to pass because they're my unique ability. It's what nobody else can do the things I can do if it's my unique ability, right? Now, other people can do it. They just may not be as good within my world at doing it, right? The things I'm excellent at, I might be able to find somebody who's excellent at it, or it might be their unique ability. Imagine that, right? I have my unique abilities. You have your unique abilities. We come together in a business and we're all unique ability, right? Out. Not a word, just made up Lindsay word. But right, like that would be awesome. And if we can get to that place when we're figuring out what tasks somebody's helping us with, holy moly, the business goes, whew, right? I think it's crazy that there are people out there that genuinely love paying bills, line by line doing bookkeeping. They're pumped when they find the like one penny that they're off, I think they're nuts. Like they're crazy to me, right? That's the I hate to do list. Um, there are people that's their unique ability. They're like jazzed when they find the missing penny. And I'm like, I would have just been like, oops, right? Thank God for those people because I need that person and I need their unique ability in my life. Okay. I'm guessing this is working and this makes sense. I got Steve listening. So that's awesome. All right. So now, once you have the entire activity, by the way, you can make a million copies of this, right? Like you could have, so if you looked at my notebooks where I was writing all this down, I had probably I mean, I'm also very good at figuring out what are the tasks, and I'm really detailed in that, right? Because I'm the person who builds systems and processes. So, like, you've got to remember, I can sit down and create an activity, inventory of like 150 things that I do. That doesn't mean that all of you guys are going to do that, but imagine if you printed this out and you just kept it by your desk and you kept filling it out, when you did a new thing that you were like, "Oh, I do this. I do write the newsletter. Oh, I send the newsletter." Oh my gosh, right? Like writing the newsletter is one thing, but sending it and make sure it goes out to all the people and taking all the people out that said they don't want to be a part of it. Hopefully you have a system that already does that. And then adding the new humans in, that's a whole nother part of what you're doing with marketing, right? And so like there's so many tasks that are involved in all these things that you don't think about that like I would think about. And so if you need help with this, plug for Ciprani Consulting. If you need help with this and you're like, I can't sit down and do an activity inventory, this is going to stress me out and it's going to make me so mad. Please, you could pay us $250. We will give you an hour of our time where we literally sit there and poke you with, okay, these are a bunch of marketing ideas. These are a bunch of, this and sales and blah, 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 blah. And we'll sit there and give you things because we have huge lists of all the possible things that somebody's done because we've written a million job descriptions, right? We can give you those and ask you questions that allow us to write your inventory. So please, and listen, I'm happy to do some of that for free too. Although we have really amazing consultants that'll give you an hour of their time for $250, and I think it's worth it. So, um, plug. But again, if we're going to write a job description, if we have all these things on here, right, and we take the time to figure it out, then we're going to go through and be like, okay, all these U's, they're my things. I'm going to keep those things because I'm really good at it. And I'm going to keep the things that give me energy. By the way, as a business owner, it might only be like three. That's okay. It's okay if you have a business where you created it because you had a love for something and you were like, I'm really good at this. And the parts, and then you had to be everything, right? You were sales, and now you're a manager, and now you're all these things. Like now you're HR, like you're wearing all these hats. You might hate all of them, but you really liked and were passionate about the thing that you first created. That's okay. That's your unique ability. And other people have unique ability about those other things. That's why this is so important. Okay. Once we have this, right? The whole list, then we're creating the job. So the really cool part about this is you could just highlight and paste all of these into ChatGPT and say, I'm hiring an executive assistant or I'm hiring a marketing person. By the way, if you write everything out, don't you think that like there'll be some like, okay, these are all like task heavy, like what I would call executive assistant things, right? Or, oh my gosh, these are all marketing things. Or, oh my gosh, these are all like, I hate hiring and training and managing and like HR, right? Like there are, and by the way, you could also take the whole list and put it into ChatGPT and go, what what position would work with all these tasks that I don't like, right? Or that I'm not totally great at. I'm capable of, but I don't want to do. Maybe you keep some of the excellent ones, right? But or maybe get rid of them all. But you could take all of that and go, what's a great position name for this? And ChatGPT will tell you. Of course, you can reach out to us and we can do that. But I think you're smart enough to go, oh my gosh, this looks like a client care person. What in the world, right? Like, I want somebody that can like triage this stuff and like love on these people when we make a mistake or whatever, right? So something will come from this. And if it doesn't, just plug it into ChatGPT and figure it out. But once you have that, you guys, like, then we're able to really sit down and go, okay, these are all of the tasks that somebody's going to do. So guess what? In a job description, that becomes like the actual like description, right? So let's look at some of that real quick. So let's see here. We'll do an executive assistant, right? Now, by the way, we have executive assistant job ads that like do really well, right? Like what I would say is a master job ad for this. And we'll look at real estate again. A lot of you guys are real estate, so hopefully it's okay with everybody. If you are not in real estate, we love you, and we will help you write these job descriptions. We'll help you get through the inventory as a part of our process for hiring, and we'd love to do that. It's really fun for us. So, but again, so say we're going to look at real estate real quick, right? This is one of our master job ads, and the job responsibilities are those tasks, right? The activity inventory that I just gave you, that's what this is, right? And so you've got assisting and supporting the owner in all business areas, right? Managing database and management systems, like screening and directing phone calls, right? There's all of these like tasks, but they're not really specific. A lot of people will tell you to put a job ad out there that doesn't have specifics. You will attract more candidates with that. If that is a way that you're going to go for this, then I need you to go back and I need you to then write a description of the job. And that description really just needs to be like, okay, hey, you applied to this and we're talking through this. I want you to see the actual job description. And that needs to have all those tasks on there, you guys. But I'm also somebody who I believe you attract the right people when you actually put the actual descriptions out there and all the tasks. So here's the thing. I think it's fine to be very specific if you're trying to find the right person, right? And the right person would be somebody who marks a lot of the tasks as their unique, right? Like that's what they're good at. So, be specific, right? You'll see here, like, they must love checklists and to-dos because yeah, they're an executive assistant, they gotta do some of that. So again, this is not that specific, but if I just show you really quickly, director of operations, I want to show you the Ciprani one. So, and then I'll leave you with this and then call me, text me, message me. I'm happy to help. Like I said, you could pay if you feel bad about having us help you for free, which we'll do as a part of what we do. But if you feel bad, $250 for an amazing consultant to come alongside of you and to build this out for you. But like, this is our description, right? These are our values, by the way. I put those values in our job ads for Soprani Consulting because I don't want anybody that doesn't feel like they're winning in that area. I got really clear around, hey, before you can even do anything and be a director of operations for this company, you have to be able to do this, right? Non-negotiables for the role. I got really clear there. And then you'll see, here's that heading, but guess what? Here are 9 things. They're all color coded because we're redoing some things right now. But here's 9 things you're responsible within that one heading. And here are 6 things within this heading, right? It's not enough to just say you're responsible for holding the sales team accountable for hitting KPIs. Just kidding. You're going to do all of these things. And we got really specific, right? HR, that's what that means, right? And so again, I'm happy to help you build that and do that. It is what we love doing, our unique ability. But you guys, it's really needed in order to make sure you attract the right person to be able to have those things on there. And so hopefully this helps. I'm happy to send anything to anybody. We've got the document that I can forward you. So email us if you know us, or message me on here. And if you happen upon this and I don't know you, hi, and let's work together. Talk to you soon.